Good evening and a warm welcome to Weekend Dialogue on Biz Roundup. Tonight in our studios, we are going to talk about Kanrich Finance Ltd, the finance industry, the outlook for the industry for finance companies in Sri Lanka. For this, we've invited the Director and Chief Executive Officer of Kanrich Finance Ltd, Shiran Weerasinghe. Good evening and a warm welcome.
Good evening.
We are pleased to have you here. I'd like to ask you first, for close to 5 decades now, Kanrich has been in the finance industry, and it looks like a lot of changes are happening for the industry this year going forward, and there have been much changes in the past few decades too. But what is the journey like for you all?
In fact, Kanrich started in 1971 as a finance company, and it was restricted only to Colombo. Till 2010, then only we moved as our parent company Mutual Holding, we moved in 2010, then only the new journey started. Now Kanrich is all over the country.
Within 5 years?
Yes, spread all over the country, counting about 40 odd locations and serving 1,600 staff to our customers. It has been a nice journey since 2010 and would say that our customers' requirement have been take care, and they are also happy about the performance and the requirement that from our side we are giving.
Right. So you said during the past 5 years since 2010, you have been able to expand across the island to be present.
Yes.
Okay. So, like, what challenges have you come across so far?
We moved in 2010. That was the tough time in the finance industry. In fact, there had been a finance crisis since 2008 up to 2011-12. Like we moved in a tough time, and still we saw some challenges as well as some opportunities in the industry. We moved in 2010. There had been a big issue about the confidence among the customers as well as the employee, because there were few mismanagements in the industry. Few companies had collapsed and they were struggling to deliver their services, or sometimes they were struggling to pay their customers. There had been an issue about the confidence about the customers as well as the employee. And the biggest challenge we had about increasing the confidence in our staff, because they are the point that go to customers and taking or convincing for their requirement,
right,
and accepting deposit. On the other hand, giving lending. We were working initially on the confidence and build the trust. That was the main one. We come up with a good strategy. We asked our people, okay, you manage money. We set guideline. We told them where to lend. Basically, credit criteria being set by the company, and where to lend and how to lend, how move with your credit criteria, all set by the company. And we asked my people to manage your funds. That's how we increase the confidence, and that's how we build the trust in our staff. Though there was a crisis in the industry.
So with the condition back then, was it the right time for you to move in? Was that decision right?
Yes, it shows. If you look at our last 5 years figures, it shows it's back the decision that we took in 2010. That was the time even you get challenges, you get crisis, you get difficulties. From other point, same time you get advantages also. We have negotiated and we got a good company for an attractive price. And if you take last 5 years figures up to 2015, it shows the decision that we have done is correct. Fully back the decision.
With the financial results you all
Results, yes.
Right. So let's talk a little about the industry. I mean, you have a lot of competition within the industry in Sri Lanka. What do you do differently in order to overcome these? Because there are so many providing services and there's much competition. But what keeps Kanrich, what differentiates you?
What we do differently is that uh, we tell our people, they are basically, we are in the service sector. Service sector, you have to rely on your employees, your staff. They cater your customer. That is the strength that you should have in your company when you are in service sector. We invest a lot in our human capital, and same time we have made a nice environment for my people to work and deliver up to the company expectation. They are happy about the environment. It's challenging, and same time they can fulfill their requirements of their future requirement by working with the company. That's we have shown to our staff. It's at same time we have delivered during last 5 to 6 years from the management point of view. They know they have they have the trust on the company. Basically, we have built a very good bond with my human capital, my staff. They know that they can go to their dreams, their future level that they expect by delivering in Cambridge, and they are doing very well to my customers.
If we talk a little about budget 2016, of course, debates are going on, and there have been much introductions focusing the banking and financial industry. How does this affect you as a company?
Before taking to the industry, I would like to talk about from the country point of view. If you take in overall aspect, it's a positive budget. You have to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. We have to secure. We have to save. We have to secure our foreign currency. That have been focused in this budget. I am taking this budget in positive way. Lot of initiatives have been taken by looking at the future.
Right.
You have to compromise if you're going to achieve height in future. You have to compromise certain thing. It's a good budget, futuristic budget from the country point of view. If you take from the industry, of course, there are a few debates are happening about banking and finance, about the leasing aspect. That of course, it's if you take from the finance company perspective, it's an advantage that finance companies gonna get. But again, I think we should restrict vehicles also on the road, and our roads are not quite. We don't have the relevant infrastructure to carry numbers. You can see on the road, if you go even for 10 minutes drive, you take about 1 hour. So you have to start from somewhere. I take this budget as a positive start taken by the government.
Okay, and you think the proposals are good for the leasing, the financial institutions, rather than for the banking sector?
In fact, if you take finance and banking, it's favor finance than bank. But I think they have taken from the country point of view. You have to reduce numbers, and same time we have to move towards more than consumption lending. You have to move to production, and you have to help business crowd to improve their business. The country production should go, which can help the GDP.
Right. And I'd also like to move a little into the SME sector, because there is much focus by the industry itself to uplift the SME sector, because the government, authorities see that, much support need to be given to the SMEs to see a vibrant and growing economic condition in the country. But how does Kanrich actually support the SMEs?
In fact, being Kanrich, we are proud that we went to a rural community 5 years back. 2010-11 we started to work with SME and micro sector. We have been doing it for last 5 years. We are happy that we have been catering to the rural crowd. Rural economy is a key. If you are looking for a sustainable growth in the country, you have to focus on the rural sector. And we have been doing that part for last 5 years. There are a lot of success stories. micro members, small family-oriented business have come up to SME sector. We have been doing it for last 5 years, and that is the sector we have started in 2010. Then moving to vehicle leasing, that is consumption-oriented lending.
Right, I'd like to move a little into your career. At a very young age, you are holding a top position as a senior professional in a very competitive industry. How do you reflect on your career, your path up to now, and let's look forward a little.
In fact, this is my 15 or 16 years in the industry, finance industry. Before I've joined the industry, I've done my basic education side, did well in advanced level, and then moved to the university. Luckily, I got into a very good degree program, accountancy and financial management. And while I was doing my university degree, I started my chartered accountancy program, and then I moved to Ernst & Young, a popular chartered accountancy firm. I got lots of experience working with different sector, and then finally I ended up in the industry. And yes, though it was challenging, we have been delivering from our side. Personally, I can be happy that we deliver to people and the same time to the society.
Your interests are in this industry.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we are hoping to see you going forward,
Okay.
to remain in the industry, I presume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let's wind up. I think it's time we wrap up. But before that, I'd also like to see how Kanrich, now we've spoken much, but with the challenges going ahead, what competences would you develop to secure the already developed business that you have and to contribute to the economy?
We are focusing on two sides. One is the human capital that have been the strength for last 5 years if you take our progress, and we'll be doing investing further about the human capital. That is the key side in Kanrich, and same time to build a good brand loyalty. More than giving your product, we want to see customers who come and get their requirement from the company, than delivering our product. What
Do you have any expansion plans?
We are in the consolidation process. In this year. We have covered 40 odd locations, and if you take microfinance, our people are covering about 10,000 villages every week, and not in this year, but next year, of course, yes, we have to have our presence in Jaffna. We have gone up to Medavachia and Trinco, and Vaunia. We have covered Mana and Jaffna. We are targeting, and basically the rest have been covered by the company.
So basically we are looking at you expanding to the northmost of Sri Lanka in 2016. Yes. Are there any particular segments that you would like to cater and focus your financial products for?
We have started with micro, the rural community, and then we moved to SME. Now even SME level customers also can come and get their requirements fulfilled by the company. And recently we have moved to corporate sector. We have a few products, business loan category products, and since we are doing very well in microfinance and SME, we want to while maintaining our presence in micro and SME, we want to invest further in business loan category, moving with corporate bodies, plus hire purchase and leasing also.
Right. So I wish you all the very best going forward, and I hope you have a wonderful year in 2016, just a month ahead, and I see that Kanrich has a lot of plans for the new year.
Thank you very much.
We had with us Shiran Weerasinghe, the Director and Chief Executive Officer of Kanrich Finance Ltd, joining us on Weekend Dialogue. Do stay with us after this break. We'll be back with more on Biz Roundup.